Saffron owns and manages approximately 4,500 properties, mostly in South Norfolk. Well, I'm joined today by a representative to talk about what it means to be a Saffron tenant. So, what happens first?
Well, all tenants have a legal contract with Saffron called the Tenancy Agreement, and this sets out what you can expect from Saffron and what we can expect from you. New tenants are usually given a starter tenancy, which operates like a sort of probationary period. A starter tenancy lasts for just 1 year, but we can end the tenancy before then if certain tenancy conditions aren't kept. And the main reasons we would end a starter tenancy is if a tenant commits antisocial behaviour by being a nuisance to neighbours or causing damage to their home, as obviously having bad neighbours can make other people's lives a misery.
So are many tenancies ended in this way?
No, the vast majority of our new and existing tenants treat their homes and their neighbours with respect. In all these cases, they automatically become full assured tenants after 12 months. Most social landlords in Norfolk now give starter tenancies to their new tenants.
Well, we'll talk more about antisocial behaviour later, but are there any other differences between the two types of tenancy?
Yes, as a starter tenant, you can't buy, exchange or carry out improvements. But don't forget, as long as you comply with the starter tenancy conditions, this period only lasts for 12 months, after which you'll have full tenancy rights.
Well, let's take a look at the experience of Faye, who recently moved into a Saffron property.
When I was offered a house here on the estate, I went over to Saffron officers where I had a meeting with the housing officer. She then went through the whole aspect of the contract, and there was various aspects of the contract that I didn't fully understand. So the housing officer did explain those to me in great depth. I was given a handbook as well, which obviously I took away, and that was for me to keep. I was still a little bit unsure about various aspects of the contract, so I did phone up my housing officer on a few occasions, and I did email her as well, and she got back to me straight away, so that point of contact was very important. When I first came to Saffron, I was offered a starter tenancy, which meant I was able to have a house given to me, or my lovely bungalow here. As part of that starter tenancy as well, they looked at various rules and they gave me a contract, and we had to be, abide by some of the rules and regulations, which one of them was unsocial behaviour, which is fine in my eyes, because I've always lived my life as in you treat other people how you'd like to be treated yourself, with that due care and attention and respect.
Well, it sounds as though Faye is getting on well in her new home. Well, let's find out from an area housing officer a little bit more about paying your rent.
Your rent should be your top priority because it pays for your home. If you do get behind with your rent, talk to us straight away and we can agree reasonable repayments. We can also help to ensure that you're receiving all the benefits that you may be entitled to.
I'd like to pay my rent, please.
Okay, that's lovely. What's the address, please?
You can pay your rent at a number of places. At post offices, pay zone outlets, and also our offices in Long Stratton.
Thanks very much. Bye.
You can also pay by credit or debit cards, over the phone or via the internet. You can send a cheque or set up a standing order. But please remember, don't send cash through the post because it might get lost. If you're out of work or on a low income, you can apply for housing benefit to pay for all or part of your rent. But you must always ensure that your claim is up to date. For new tenants, the housing benefit claim will usually start on the Monday following the week you send in your form. So make sure you do this quickly, and be aware that otherwise you might need to pay some rent at the start of the tenancy. South Norfolk Council's Housing Benefit Team can be contacted on 01508 533 633. Your area housing officer will also be able to help you with advice. You will also need to have moved into your new home to receive housing benefit.
Well, one of the most important things for tenants to know is how repairs and maintenance are dealt with. So we're going to look now at these areas.
Our main concern is our tenants' safety. In the handbook, we have a section where tenants should fill in the location of important features in their home, such as the cold water stopcock and fuse box. In the case of an emergency, you will need to know where these are located. Most importantly, if your property has gas, find where your gas meter and gas tap are located. Generally, these are found in a box outside the property or in a cupboard downstairs. If you smell gas, phone the emergency helpline immediately on 0800 111 999. If you have a water leak, turn off the stopcock. And if you have electrical problems, contact us immediately. In the repairs section of the handbook, we list the repairs Saffron is responsible for, so please check first before contacting us. The following are some examples of the types of repairs Saffron carry out. Maintaining the structure of your home, including windows and doors and plasterwork. Repairs to services, including heating, wiring, blocked sinks and toilets. Leaks from water tanks, pipes or cisterns. And types of repairs you are responsible for. Decorating the inside of your home. Damage caused by you or your family. Repairing equipment you have installed. Having checked it is our responsibility, the best way to report a repair is to ring or email us as soon as possible. Once we have made an appointment for the repair, it's important that someone is available to let us in at the agreed time, and if necessary, you have made the area clear for our staff to work.
I'll definitely be in.
All staff and contractors who visit your home will have identification badges. Always ask to see this identification before letting anyone into your home. In emergencies, we will come out within 24 hours. Typical emergencies include total loss of power, blocked sewers, severe storm damage, flooding, including major plumbing faults, securing the property, and total loss of heating in cold weather. We don't only deal with repairs. We also visit tenants once a year to service our gas and oil heating appliances. It's very important that you give us access to carry out this essential work. We also carry out general maintenance and improvement works, and we will contact you in advance to advise when work is due to take place to your home.
But I think it's fair to say that a lot of people are really worried about the thought of gas leaks. Now, what do people do if they think they may have one?
Well, first of all, you must turn off the gas supply at the meter. Extinguish all naked flames. Don't smoke or use electric light, power switches or telephones. You should ventilate the building by opening doors and windows and ensure that access to the property is possible. Once you've done these things, then call the emergency gas number from outside the property. The number is 0800 111 999, and you can also find that number in the handbook, our newsletters, leaflets, calendars, which all go out to our customers. All our staff know what to do if a customer phones reporting a gas leak, and we'll give advice at the time, as well as sending a gas engineer out immediately.
So what are the kind of problems you experience when tenants report repairs?
Well, generally, it's if a tenant finds a problem, reports it, and then simply isn't there to let us carry out the repair. It wastes a lot of our time, it costs money, and it generally slows down the whole repair process for the tenant too.
Well, I'd like to move on now to antisocial behaviour. Now, this generally seems to be an increasing problem. How does Saffron deal with it?
Well, we are committed to tackling antisocial behaviour or nuisance or harassment, and we'll take firm, prompt and appropriate action to deal with it.
Well, that's a very clear, strong policy. But, you know, what does antisocial behaviour actually mean?
Antisocial behaviour can range from acts of violence to lack of consideration for neighbours through noise, damage to property, dog fouling, or lack of parental control. Violence or threats of violence. Abusive behaviour. Poor condition of home and or garden. Nuisance caused by animals fouling or dogs barking. Damage to property. Graffiti. Intimidation and harassment. Use of the property or locality to sell drugs or for other unlawful purposes. Making an unreasonable level of noise by any means, including shouting, slamming doors, operating tools or machinery, or playing music, radio or television. Inconsiderate parking or repair of vehicles,